So, The Golden Bachelor completely took over our screens, right? But what if the real story here isn't just about the roses and the limousines? What if this whole phenomenon is actually a sign of a massive shift in how we think about love, dating, and, yeah, even being single after 60? Let's dig in and see what's really happening. The wild success of The Golden Bachelor has us all asking a pretty huge question. Is this just some fun, entertaining television? Or is it actually a window into the future of modern relationships for a generation that is proving, hey, you're never too old to find a partner? Let's take a look at the evidence. All right, so first up, we have to understand just how big of a deal this show actually became. I mean, this wasn't some niche program that a few people watched. No, this was a full-blown cultural moment that got everybody talking. Get this. Right out of the gate, the premiere pulled in a massive 4.4 million viewers. Now, in today's world of streaming and a million different shows, that number is huge. It just goes to show you there is a massive appetite for stories about love at this stage of life. And the women who were vying for the Bachelor's heart? They were not your stereotypical quiet retirees. We're talking about a retired firefighter and bomb tech, a luxury yacht sales rep, a CEO, a longevity nurse. These are incredibly dynamic, accomplished women who just completely shattered any outdated ideas about what it means to be over 60. To really get the show's appeal, you have to see the genuine emotion that's involved. I mean, the stakes feel incredibly high for everyone. So let's walk through a hypothetical example of a Golden Bachelor to see just how real it can get. Okay, so just imagine a former NFL player, Mel Owens. He was married for 25 years, and now he's stepping into the spotlight, really hoping to find a partner to share his life with. His season, well, it becomes a masterclass in emotional vulnerability. So this timeline shows you the absolute emotional peak of our hypothetical season. After Mel meets all the families, one of the final three, Debbie, she opens up about this really deep tragedy from her past. The connection they have is so powerful, and the decision for Mel becomes agonizing. It all leads to this shocking, tearful goodbye that no one saw coming. And this quote from Debbie in the car on the way out, wow. It just hits you right in the gut. It perfectly captures the courage it takes to open yourself up to love again and, the profound pain when it doesn't work out. It's just this raw human moment that goes so much deeper than typical reality TV. So while this show is absolutely full of genuine emotion, we have to remember it's still a television show. So how does its world, one guy dating over 20 women, actually compare to the real dating scene for people over 55? Well, let's look at the data. According to Pew Research, the numbers in the real world tell a very different story. As you can see here, there's a really significant gender imbalance. Nearly half, 49%, of all women over 65 are single. Now for men, it's just 1 in 5. This demographic reality creates a totally different dating pool than what we see on TV. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When you ask who is actively looking for a partner, the numbers totally flip. A staggering 71% of single women over 40 say they aren't looking to date. Compare that to just 42% of men. So for a lot of women, being single isn't just a circumstance, it's a choice. So for those who are looking, the dating world has a completely new playbook. It's not about waiting around to be introduced by friends anymore. It's a whole new landscape with its own strategies, its own language, and its own tools. The show gives us the fantasy, right? The limos, the helicopter rides. But the reality for most people is a lot more practical. It involves learning how to use dating apps, understanding new social cues like green flags, and even learning a whole new vocabulary for modern romance. So one of the biggest trends right now is something called micromance. Forget the huge, sweeping gestures. This is all about the power of small, consistent, heartfelt actions. It really reflects a shift in priorities that comes with experience, valuing a genuine, everyday connection over some big, performative romance. Then there's loud looking. I love this trend. It's where people are being super direct and just unapologetic on their dating profiles about exactly what they want. No more of that vague, just seeing what's out there stuff. It's all about confidence, clarity, and not wasting anybody's time. And this one's really interesting. Contra-dating. This is the idea of consciously dating people who aren't your usual type. It's a really smart, strategic way to break old habits, expand your horizons, and open yourself up to someone you might have otherwise completely overlooked.
And of course, a lot of this is happening online. 1 in 5 Americans between 50 and 64 have used a dating app, and there are even niche sites that cater directly to them. But this digital world, it comes with a pretty big warning. This demographic is often a target for scammers and catfishers, so a healthy dose of caution is absolutely essential.
And all of this brings us back to a really fundamental truth that the show, for all its romance, doesn't always highlight. Finding a partner isn't the only happy ending out there. At a watch party for the Golden Bachelor, one 84-year-old widow just put it perfectly. When someone asked her about finding love again, she said this: for many people, after a wonderful marriage or just a lifetime of rich experiences, being single is a conscious, fulfilling, and peaceful choice. It's not a consolation prize. For them, it's the grand prize. Which leaves us with one last thing to think about. Whether you're swiping on an app, going on dates, or you're happily single, maybe the whole journey of love in our later years isn't really about finding another person at all. Maybe the ultimate reward is a deeper connection with and a better understanding of yourself.